All right, we have a brand new adventure today. I am on a brand new, brand new. I'll try not to say that again. Permission. It's a couple hundred acres, beautiful farm on a bend in the Potomac River. And a fan owns it. He contacted me and said, "Hey, Chig, I got a couple hundred acres. Got some decent metal detecting on it, I believe, got some old houses." And so he invited me to come over. And I came over a couple days ago and just met with him just to briefly look over the farm because he gave me a run of the farm, you know, key to the gates, all that good stuff. And while we were looking around, he said, or I said, "Hey, got any caves?" Because there's actually caves nearby that I know about. He said, "Well, yeah, in fact, there's a cave on a cliff down by the river." We came out here, he showed me where it was. He doesn't know how long, you know, how far back it goes or anything. But I just kind of looked in it. I didn't have a flashlight. And there was the ground going in was very hard packed, like a lot of animals have been going in and out. But of course, there's always some type of mini disaster brewing. As I was getting out of my truck, I got an alert on my phone, and apparently there's a tornado watch for this area right now. And I heard a rumble of thunder off in the distance. And since I started talking to you, it started to rain. So this isn't going to be, it may not be a long adventure, but it's probably going to be an exciting one. This is one of his little camps he has. He has a couple camps along the river. Where he comes down in the evenings. He's got a bunch of working dogs. He comes down and just kind of hangs out with his dogs and reads, which is the life. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to head down this path, skirt the edge of this cliff for about a quarter of a mile, and then we're going to scamper up it like some little scampers and check out this cave. Like I said, I saw the entrance of it, but I didn't go back in it. But we're going to today. And if this doesn't work out and we don't get rained out, there's a sinkhole that he showed me that's actually quite active, meaning that there's still, you know, there's still things going on that we can check out. And we'll do that today if we have time. Right above this cave, there's a huge sinkhole in the woods. It's like, well, huge. It's like 100 yards across. But it's an old one. There's no evidence of recent subsistence. And it's full of big rocks, river rocks, that people have been filling it in over the centuries. But that tells me that there was a big cave here at one time, and that was a big room. So I'm hoping that maybe this little entrance down here will lead into some other rooms that haven't collapsed. This is probably the most dangerous part of the trip right here. It's very slippery because it's wet, of course, and then we'll just slide right in that mud and probably go on down in the river if I fall. Don't think I'll drown, but I'll be messy wet. A lot of deer tracks and some raccoon tracks there. Wait. These are pawpaw trees, by the way. Fall, we can come here and get some pawpaws. So I bebopped along the river for a ways and didn't really see the cave, so I went up the hill to where I'm at now, and I started working my way back toward the truck because I think I passed it, and it might be right behind me now. As you can see, we're a little bit further up off the river. That's the path we walked down. I went down about another 50, 100 yards and turned around and been coming back right on the edge. And I see this, and that might be the cave. I had dogs with me the other day. They ran in there first, so I didn't have to worry about critters. I'm not sure if this is it or not, really. Yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, okay. All right, so not sure how far back it goes, but you can see the floor is very hard packed. So lots of animals have been going back in here. There's some signs of some mud daubers. I heard something back in there. I don't know if it was water dripping or something gnashing its teeth. Anyway, we'll go back as far as we can, see if it's worth digging out any side passage we might see. And then if this doesn't pan out and it's not raining yet, we'll go up to that sinkhole and work on that a little bit. Am I handsome? I don't have much hair right now. All right, got my flashlight out. Let's go ahead and check her out. And I'll let you guys go first. Ooh, at least goes back a little ways. Make sure there's no snakes in here. I'm really worried about raccoons. Yeah, all right. Look at the moisture. I'm actually got a little bit of formations going on there. Little stalactites coming down, little flowstone. Cricket. It's a cave cricket. Okay, spider. Okay, I'm gonna have to take my some of my gear off. This gets pretty tight right there, doesn't it? All right, just give me a minute. Hopefully there's no raccoons down there. I gotta take this vest off, basically. Okay, look at that moss. So that means there's enough light gets back in here for that photosynthesis, which is kind of interesting. I guess it doesn't take much. I don't know if that goes anywhere or not, to tell you the truth. Ow, that hurt. I'm injured. I don't know what happened, but I just tripped coming in here. Then, boy, it stinks. It sounds like raccoon manure. Wowza. That's a latrine, that's why. Oy. Okay, here's what we got. As you can see, I'm only a little bit further in. Lots of bones. I can see some, it was probably raccoon, hard to say, but all that manure right there, that's crap. That's from raccoons. So they come in here and use it like a latrine or a potty. That's the way they do things. They're gangsta that way. It definitely keeps going that way, but I'm not going to cross that raccoon manure today. Let me come back though. It keeps going. It's really small though. I mean, we might be able to dig that out, but I'm not going to mess with it today because it just stinks. Oh my God, that's a jawbone right there. Let's get out of here. Blech. Oh yeah, you can imagine how gross this is. Centuries worth of raccoon manure. Ugh. All right, so this wasn't much of a cave, but it's big enough that you could actually name it, I guess. Oh gosh, that's horrible. Whoa. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Get out of here, if I can. Jeez. Oh, fresh air. Oh, all right. Let's do this. This wasn't much. I'm gonna hike our way back along the edge of this cliff. And if we see any more caves, we'll check them out. If not, we'll try to get up on top to that sinkhole, which unfortunately is on the other end of the property. And the roads up through the woods are really tight for my big truck. I don't know if it'll get through or not. That's what she said. All right, let's see if we can make it. Well, I think we're ready to start hiking back, but like I said, we're gonna go along the edge. The rain stopped and I'm not hearing any thunder, so we might be in good shape. We're just gonna go right along about this elevation as far as we can. Look for more caves. Now, I'm gonna drop down because I'm afraid we won't be able to get around that edge very easily. I don't want to take any chances since we're out here by ourselves. The owner knows I'm here, but he's not with me, you know what I mean? Of course, I went right up there anyway. Very typical. I wanted to see what that was all about. Well, let's take a look. I don't want to take any chances whatsoever. I'm going to drop back down. So we're almost back to the truck. You can see it over there. It's the remains of a stone wall coming down the hill. That's probably the last hole that I've seen. Oh, look at this thing. Looks vicious. Hey, puppy. All right, check this one out. And we'll try to get to the sinkhole. All right, that doesn't look like much. Whew. All right, a lot of fractured rock. It just doesn't look like there's gonna be much there though. I'm gonna walk down to the river, see if there's any Indian artifacts. If there is, I'll show them to you, and if not, we'll jump in the truck and start moving. I think the river might be getting low enough we can maybe start to get back into it again. Still up probably a foot or two, but it doesn't look too bad. You see that little tree there would be completely out of water, roots and all, if it was at its normal level. So it's still up at least a foot, but I suspect a little bit more than that. Starting to clear up a little bit too. It's not so muddy, is it? This is an old campfire ring. This is probably from people canoeing and kayaking though, I would guess. It's a good place to camp. Out in the middle of nowhere. I'm just scanning quickly for artifacts. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. Not too far from here, I just remembered this. I'd actually found some musket balls along the bank. Not metal detecting either. This was probably 30, 40 years ago. I was down here with a friend that lived nearby. And he told me about it. I said, yeah, I can find bullets every once in a while. So I walked down there with him. Sure enough, there was, found a couple. I've never been back to metal detect that. I just thought about that. I have to try to remember to do that this summer. I want to show you this real quick too. You see the leaves? These leaves in the trees right here? This was the river level. It was at least up, it was over our head right where we're standing. You can see how far down that is there. We've been swept away had we been standing right here. Another big fire ring here. You can see how the rocks are that reddish color. That's from the heat of the fire. But you can see the aluminum can, so it's not that old. Truck's right up the hill. Let's go ahead and get in it and see if we can get to that sinkhole today. Like I said, the roads are pretty narrow and it's quite muddy. It rained a lot last night, so we might not be able to make it today. But we'll try. All right, so we made it over to the far side of the property. And this is about half a mile from where we were. And we're gonna have to get over this fence, which this looks like a good spot. And go to some sinkholes that are right up over the hill here. So just hang on a second. When I get there, I'll show them to you. And I'm going through the middle of a big old pawpaw patch right now too. Those little pawpaw trees right there. Okay, I think it was up in here somewhere. All right, this is it right here. This is kind of interesting too. Let me show you something. Now basically what we have is two sinkholes. We got this one here, which looks pretty juicy. It's got a nice cliff face in there, rock face. Looks like there's some rocks that might be covering up an entrance of some sort right there. But this one over here really caught my attention because the owner said this is fairly new. It wasn't always like this. And I went over there the other day and I stuck my foot in that hole right there and it kept going. So I'm really, really hoping it's gonna go down into a massive cave. We'll get the kayaks out and we're gonna go for a ride down to the river. Speaking of which, let's go look at the river real quick and see if how far away that storm is. Get very poor cell reception right here. Man, there's some big cliffs. So we're gonna explore these too in the fall when there's no vegetation. We'll look all through these cliffs for some caves. I don't really see any big dark clouds over there, but I heard it when I was coming through the woods. All right, let's go back to the caves, see what we got. All right, let's take a look at this one first. And then we'll look at the other one to see which one's gonna be the best bet for digging out. Another one of those centipedes. Hopefully it won't collapse under us. I stuck my foot in here and it went down a good ways. I'm thinking this might be worth checking out a little bit. Let me set you up. See that? I like it because there's rock. There's a rock wall on this side. Hopefully nothing tries to bite us. Copper moccasins. All right, what do you think? Look with a flashlight. Well, I can't really see. It kind of cuts back this way, but I can't tell if it gets bigger or not. Slug. I'll put you down in there if you'll be able to see anything, but give it a try. I got the camera all the way down in there. I can't see if it opens up or not. Can you? feels like it does. Let's go check out the other one. Okay, let's see what we have on this one. At least it didn't collapse on me. All right, don't see that anything goes yet. Let me go ahead and I'll try to move some of these rocks out of here so we can get a look and see if it dips down. I can't promise you anything, and the fact that I don't see any raccoons going in there doesn't make me feel really good about this. But let's give it about 15 or 20 minutes, at least until the thunderstorm gets us. Well, I definitely bit off more than I can chew with this one. I actually dug it down a ways, and I got these couple of big rocks out of there, but everything is just too big for me to move, and my truck is too far away from me to go get my tools to come back here to break these rocks up, at least today. I did dig around in that other hole a little bit too, and it's not looking real promising either, so I'm not really hopeful about this spot. I'll talk to the owner. He did express some interest in these caves, and he has a mini excavator. So maybe we can talk him into bringing it out here, move some of these rocks for us. They're just too big. So I just have the shovel. I mean, I could break those up if I had a big hammer, but I'm not going to do that today. All right, sad little adventure, but at least it was an adventure. I'm going back to the house, which is like 2 miles from here, but across the river. It takes 40 minutes to get there.
Take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep hidden in her dirt.